Thank you for joining us today. Welcome all for this 52 weeks webinar series. This is a series which is brought to you by Easy Knowledge Club, and this is a part of Easy Startup Mantra. I will take a moment to introduce you all to the spirit behind this session and this whole exercise of webinars. Easy Knowledge Club is a very vibrant community, and we believe in a very simple vision that is to make learning very simple, practical, and accessible for all. So our community tries and brings together founders, subject matter experts, mentors, investors, professionals who believe in the power of sharing knowledge and a collective growth for all. So this webinar series is a step forward for the same path. Talking about the topic. So today's topic is building global startups from India, leveraging talent, technology, and AI. And I think that nobody will be a better speaker than Ashish ji. So our today's session speaker is Mr. Ashish Khare. Ashish ji, I think it's my pleasure to introduce him as a speaker because he's associated with a very successful and very versatile ventures. So Ashish Khare ji is a seasoned leader and extensive experience at the intersection of AI, data, and delivery operations. So he's a founder of MentorKart and People's App AI. He's also author. He's a strategic advisor to many global startups. Actually, if I say he's making you the industry ready, as he's deeply involved in shaping India's talent strategy, and he's very passionate about making young professionals industry ready by bridging the gap between academia and the evolving needs of the workplaces. So he's working continuously on this goal. So not taking much time, Ashish ji. I request you, please take it forward. So over to you, Ashish.
Thank you, Rakiji, for such a nice introduction. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. As the topic says today, um, how to set up the startup, which is from global startup from India, leveraging talent, technology, and AI. Um, as the topic says, global startup from India, and I think so. Many have dreamed this that how to set up a startup which is global in nature, but it's a journey. I think so. It takes time building from zero to one. This is my third venture, so I've done it two times already. Third, we are working on it currently, right? Um, for founders, just to let you know a little about me and my current initiative. We are one company with two engines, MentorKart and PeopleJab, where we build the talent. We own the software that manages them. So we a complete SaaS platform, complete sourcing to screening to skilling and all. The only differentiation what we create in the market is that for the learners, it is offer letter from day one before even learning start. So if you get selected for the program, you actually get offer letter. Or if you get offer letter, then only you get selected for the program. So it is an ROI for the program is from day one. I have checked, no one offers such. So in a true sense, there is no competitor. That's why it is taking time. It's too good to be true, but this is what we have delivered, and almost 300 plus people who are our alumni have been placed from day one before the joining the program, before joining the program that we offer. So this is what the final mode and model we have created. For enterprise, it is they have talent vendor who give them sourcing of the candidates, lateral or fresher. There are software vendors who offer them SaaS as a platform, but both of them together end to end is not able to solve the problem which India has, is the skill gap. And that's what we do for demand, what we create. So this is the brief thing, but today agenda is different. So we will talk about that 30 to 40 minutes. We will talk about how we can build a scale and sell to the world. We can have 20-minute Q&A. and some of the practical takeaways I have planned for you, which you can take that as a founder and build on top of it. Agenda, there are 9 points what we can cover today. What is India opportunity today? Why now? Why us? Why now has been going on for a long time now. Why us is also exist. Only thing is that the at what point of time what changes. So right time, right opportunity, and right place is what we need to build. What about the ideas and markets? What India versus global for early stage founders? We'll cover one or two slides on that. Um, Talent which India has, right? So we all know there are so many millions of engineers passing out, so many millions of graduates are happening, but again, there's a gap, and you have a quality skills available very little, right? The technology which is infrastructure tailwind today, what we have built as a country on tech, starting from UPI to fintech and everything, we'll talk about it, which we can leverage as a startup when we are building. The great equalizer for small team. So obviously AI today's world, like before 5 year, 6 year before, when we were building a startup or 10 year back when we were a startup, we need to have people, lot many people to build the product, especially tech, right? Today that's not the situation. This has changed completely. So that also we will talk about it and we can leverage. Building and leading distributed global team when you scale, and some of the pitfalls we will discuss about. A roadmap, but we can think about from India to first to world first, right? And obviously, the India is first. So we are from India, and we will build something from here, and then we mature it to the world, and we take it forward. So India opportunity is huge, as you know, is already 100 plus unicorn are there, 1.4 billion people are there. Not everybody is market for everybody, but there are selective what you can choose upon. We are third largest ecosystem. 65% population is still under 35. Shall we go global from day one? Maybe or maybe not, depending upon what you are building, depending upon what market you are targeting, depending upon what product you have. So you can think about bigger market, faster returns, currency and valuation advantage when you go global, and the diversification of the overall approach what you take, right? When you talk about, I don't know what is the stage of the current audience, what is there, maybe in the chat box you can write that what you are building, right? And I'll come back and then we can, in the Q&A, we can discuss about that. But I just said there's no rocket science, but the ideas are plenty. Everybody has 10 or 15 ideas to build on. The main thing is that from where that idea come, who will pay for it, who will build, what time it will take. So maybe your own pain point, listening before building, gaps you have seen at your work. Suppose you have been working professional or you are currently working somewhere, you have the problem facing, and that becomes an idea to solve that problem. So the global problems which you think about, but the local in inside. So first try local and then, but think about always about global in many of the cases, right? India market versus global market. When you talk about, I think so. Obviously, everybody knows building for India is size and numbers are used, but when it comes to the scaling and the numbers multiplier are there. When you talk about the global market, maybe the higher purchasing power, is smaller in numbers. CAC here is lower. CAC here is there in global market is high. Pricing power here is volume, but thin margin, right? And a scale and compensate. But there is a premium market. But before you entering to the premium market, your product has to be mature enough to go and address the problem, which is for a premium market. When you talk about competition, obviously there is a crowd, but in the global market, when you especially talk about US and UA, the market is pretty mature for most of the things what you try and build. Regulatory, here it is more flexible, but In other countries, it is more complex and detailed. Without that kind of regulatory framework, you can't actually start. The capital availability, obviously, just to give you an example, like in deep tech and other stuff, obviously the market is outside India is much more mature from long-term perspective when you talk about benefit. Starting in India is faster, cheaper, customer feedback loops, lower in cost, experimentation, team building. I'm saying you can fail fast also, though I don't very agree with the fail fast as a concept, because nowadays, you need to build and reach to a situation. So when you start, you need to think about कि अब करना है तो करना है. I'm saying then you have to go deeper and whatever time it takes somehow, right? Going global once the higher ARPU is their average price and average pricing is higher, valuation is different. So starting from India is always better, but depend upon what you are building, right? Talent we talk about, as I said, you have engineers, you have cost efficient excellence, you have remote native workforce, and especially after pandemic, you are able to work from anywhere for anybody, right? And any place. That is also important, right? When you talk about India infrastructure, obviously, I personally feel that, especially from after UPI, the payment and everything, the reach has become much deeper than compared to even the other markets. Even if you go to US or anywhere today, also you have a lot of dependency on plastic money. In our country, it is much faster and much immediate and at no cost, right? And there is a cost comparison also when you talk about. So our infrastructure is also supporting this kind of size of the market what you are building. When it comes to AI, I think so in everything and everything, anything we are using it today. Um, how many of you heard about Bodhi? Do you guys heard about Bodhi? Anybody maybe can write heard about Bodhi?
No.
Not. So maybe note down this name and I'll talk about it. I'm using Bodhi AI. Yes. It is like people thinking that as a replacement of LinkedIn. Now it's an AI which is changing how people meet other people in the world and is personalized for everybody because it's an AI. It can handle lakhs of conversations, millions of conversations at one point of time. If you talk to that body, starting from founder perspective, I talk about it can talk about anything. But when you talk about founder perspective, it can talk about uh, helping you to create a pitch, meet introducing investor, making your meeting done with investor, look for investor outside the world entire for you. It's like in seconds, right? And that is what it does. um, if you are looking for a job, you want to hire from someone or hire from market, for all these things it does. And how it works is just say hi on WhatsApp and then it start working for you. So that is something like that. It is I've been using it for a long time and it's being very helpful from that perspective. So we can talk about it, right? um, when you are building on any of the area, and we'll in the Q&A session I would like to discuss that what area or what product you are building, and then AI is everywhere. It can help starting from less number of team member. Today you can make AI your co-founder, maybe, right? And it will act like a co-founder. You can create a complementing team within AI and making a virtual team for yourself, right? And start working on your idea. So starting today is very simple and easy. um, when it comes to the larger infrastructure or larger projects or larger things, AI is still having all the values it is being added. Just to give you an example, at MentorKart and People's App, we have implemented in AI in almost in everything. Starting from when the lead comes from Meta, Google, or anywhere, from candidate or companies, the AI takes the first call. Whether it's a sending an email response or calling to the candidate, understanding the profile of the candidate or students who are coming, explaining them the program, taking their eligibility criteria and reviewing their candidature, whether they are fit for the program or not, sending them assessment, taking the results, communicating back to the CRM, and then only the maybe senior counselor reach out to the person and close the deal. So this entire flow works there. Then even running campaign on marketing, right, on Meta, Google, or emailers is all managed by AI, uh, including not only to run a campaign, but also manage that campaign, controlling the cost, reviewing whether it's giving the right ROI or not, and then changing the campaign accordingly, changing the captions, changing the posters, everything from that perspective is without any human intervention can be done. And that is how AI is giving value to all the startup which are currently doing. Now, one is that company like D2C or company like B2B or services company, they are using AI in any way. But if you are an AI startup itself, then what problem you are solving for using AI? That is something which we'll have to talk about, because most of the LLM layers are available across, and you are leveraging them, integrating them. Like in our case, we have integrated from sourcing of the candidate, as I explained you, screening them, assessing them, taking their interview, connecting them to companies, then companies HR takes the interview assessments and releasing an offer letter and doing onboarding. So this entire human less effort, I mean, in terms of without any human intervention, our people are doing it. So we can, when in the Q&A, we can talk about in your business how AI can help, maybe, right? In action, when you talk about, you go to any industry today, whether it's healthcare, fintech, agri-tech, edtech, supply chain, logistics, everywhere the AI uses are there. Even in daily use, what we consume as a consumer from Zomato, Swiggy, or anything, whatever apps we are using in our daily life, starting from booking the cab and everything, most of the things are being handled by the AI. And whether it's conversation with customer, taking the feedback, analyzing the data, taking action or certain problem statement or whatever. I mean, things automatically doing that, and you don't have to train it, right? You train once, and then it is being not going to do those such mistakes which are people are making it, right? So those things are there. Um, Distributed and global team, when you build a startup for global perspective. Um, After the pandemic, as you know, the time zone is not a problem, so that is also can be handled remotely from anywhere. In the era of the AI, documentation is not a problem. Earlier, it was a problem because humans supposed to create the documentation. Language boundaries were a problem. Today, it is not a problem. And whatever you are doing, um, it's data analysis from day one. Earlier, you used to do operations and everything, collect a lot of data, and then we used to put the tools, technology to ultimately analyze and see what decision. Here, the from day one, the data and decisions are happening, right? Because of the AI world. Some of the pitfall which you can avoid, um, global as an afterthought. Ki pehle we will build here and then we'll think about, yes, that is important. But thinking global from day one is important. So that is something which we have to do. Copy pasting India playbook doesn't work everywhere, right? So every market is different, every consumer is different, every segment is different. I need to do a lot of research. Again, doing research is easy now. So in the world of AI, you can go in specific as much details you want at almost no cost or free of cost. You get the entire data and understanding that whether your startup is fit for which product is fit for which market or which market is not fit, right? um, GTM cost, whether it's abroad or here, we need to be very clear when we are building for a global perspective. Um, and over relying on AI, I'm saying not everything we should rely, but obviously have your own judgment and analysis, and see whether it fits for your environment or not. That is also important, right? From India first to world first, validate, architect, pilot, and scale is a methodology which everybody should follow. Um, Prove the product market fit first, create a multi currency and multi language model, launch in one target geography, and then scale from there. You cannot have global from day one, right? Something like that. Some of the key takeaways when you talk about talent is a launchpad. AI multiplies the small teams. Infrastructure you have is commodity now, whether it's tech or otherwise. Um, Design for global from day one. Think from global from day one, but deploy slowly as you move forward. Some of the founder questions which answer to be first: the pain what you are solving or problem which you are solving, is this real? Who's going to pay for it, etc., has to be addressed first. Will someone pay for it? Because sometimes the product are good, technology good, but nobody is willing to pay, right, for that. Why does this to exist now? I mean, saying if you bring something, um, how it will exist now and how it will exist for future, you need to think from day one, right? um, how do you reach your first 100 customers, and why you only can solve this, is some of the questions which you need to answer. um, I will share the presentation with you, which you can refer. But 2 week validation sprint, like when if you're bit starting today, maybe write the problem statement, 15 customer conversation, build the test environment, ask for some commitment, and go no go. You decide in 2 weeks whether you want to work on this particular idea or not, right? Then 90 days plan, say discover, validate, and commit what you are doing, and take it forward from there. Um, I want to have more interaction rather than, only running a PPT. So this is what it is for today, and I'm available for any Q&A.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Best
sir.
wishes.